Hi everyone, this is Ryan Hoyme, aka Massage Nerd, and right now I have Kelly Bowers. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you, Ryan.
So we've been discussing before we started recording here about the business of massage. So what is your take on that then?
Well, I teach continuing education about the business of massage, and I think that is an area that hangs up a lot of us because we're driven by the passion for our work. Why not? The work we do is beautiful. And we get thrown into business because we frequently find we have to be self-employed for one reason or another. And even with the best of intentions, our schools can't really prepare us to be business owners. And the vast majority of us come in with no practical business background. And the folks here have got me thinking about the idea of core competencies. We understand those when it comes to massage education. What do we need people to be able to do? What's a competent massage therapist look like? And we're talking here about the competencies for teachers. What does a competent teacher look like? So it's got me thinking, what does competency look like for a business owner who is a massage therapist? What do we need to be competent at? What does a competent business owner look like? What do they need to know? What do they need to be able to do? And if we had an understanding of that, could we turn that back around to our schools and our educators and say, when you're trying to figure out how to handle the responsibility for business practices education, these are the kinds of things, practical knowledge that you need to focus on to really help your students be ready for the world they're going to find when they leave school.
Yeah, because I noticed too, a lot of schools hardly have any business massage training, and some have maybe 50 hours. But the thing is, sometimes it's like halfway through their classes and stuff like that. So a lot of times they forget a lot of that stuff when they graduate. Or even if they have it close to when they graduate, that's when they take it. A lot of therapists, they actually work for other people, so they start losing all that knowledge.
And maybe that's all they ever want to do is work for somebody else. I totally get that. Just let me focus on my work.
Well, there's two things I wanted to do when I went through massage school. I never wanted to teach, and then never wanted to own my own business. But I ended up doing both.
Both of those things, It's like there's what we thought we were going to do when we got out of school, and there's what we really do once we get out of school. And I, on the other hand, am the opposite. I was coming out of the computer industry after 20 years, and I said, I don't ever want to work for somebody else. I am tired of working for crazy people. And so I was self-employed for a long time, and I recently, with intent, closed my private practice so that I could go to work for somebody else. I went to work for a practice locally, a group practice, that I respect deeply because it freed me of the administration of a practice. I have energy now to dedicate to writing and teaching. So, it's like, I don't ever want to work for anybody else. And now, 15 years in, I'm like, I want to work for somebody else. But I'll tell you, when I was looking for places that I wanted to work, one of my number one criterias are they a competent business? Do the owners actually know how to run a business? And that really shortened my list of possible places to work. It really shortened the list.
So you teach classes and
we teach continuing education. And what I have found is, and I'm talking to some people here about it, is that underneath a lot of the knowledge about business, there's also a psychological element to deal with that a lot of massage therapists have a relationship with the concept of business that's not healthy. Either their models of business are, and no political aspirations here, Donald Trump, and none of us really want to be Donald Trump, or they're afraid of it. They either have a negative connotation, oh, that's people who only care about money, or they're afraid of it. Oh, that's just strange foreign, I'll never grasp it, I can't do that. I sucked at math, and you got to be good at math. And so a lot of what I find myself doing is also paying attention to how do I get people to, one, have some confidence in themselves. They can do this. If you mastered anatomy and physiology, you can master basic business. But to also find that place where, what I call business head healing heart, where your sensible brain thinking self can work in conjunction with your healing passion and compassion, and not have them be like a split personality. Oh, here I am being business person. Oh, here I am being massage therapist. Is there a way to do that you are both compassionate and competent as a business person? And that's what drives me. That's what really fires me up, is getting people confident, but also getting them to not have a split personality, business massage, but business massage. And there's a lot of really cool possibilities there. And I actually say take the values that are central to us as massage therapists and apply them to business. Healthy boundaries, being conscious of dual relationships, setting a good intent. All of those foundational principles to being a good massage therapist can in fact apply to business. And when you do that, you're going to be a much happier business person, which means you're also going to ultimately be a happier massage therapist, because it improves the odds you're going to have a healthy business, which really we like that too. Yeah.
Yeah. And what kind of how many hours for your classes typically?
I keep my classes really short, 2-hour chunks. I call it business bite-sized, because my impression is that's about how long a lot of massage therapists can stand to deal with business, is about hour and a half, 2 hours, and then they need to stop, take a break, take a breather. So a lot of my classes focus on very practical skills or an introduction to an important business concept. I teach a class called Demystifying Business Plans, which is 2 hours of, let's look at what a business plan really is. Let's translate some of this stuff into language that we as massage therapists understand. And now that you understand what a business plan can be, how do you modify that to your needs as your particular business requires? We think that business plans are these huge documents that are very complex, very detailed, and full of a lot of numbers. And sometimes they have to be that. Generally, they have to be that only if there's a lot of money on the line, yours or somebody else's. You can also use business plans at a much more scaled down level to kind of keep you moving forward from year to year towards whatever your goals are as a massage therapist, as a business. I teach another one called Quick and Dirty Bookkeeping, which is, okay, let's assume you really don't get bookkeeping. What's the least you can do and still have a pretty decent, solid set of books? Let's practice that. Seriously, this is where you put the numbers. It's very practical skills. What do you need to understand, or what do you need to do, basic level, to function as a massage therapist, business owner?
Yep. And do you do these online then, or in class?
Right now, they're all live classes.
Okay.
I am contemplating online, but a lot of the technical issues have me kind of like, I need to...
Google Hangouts.
Okay, yeah. I need to explore what's possible. I need to explore what's possible. And I've got to practice, and I've got my business, and it's like, wow, there really only are 24 hours in a day and 7 days a week, and I'm middle-aged, so, And there's this whole thing called sleep that's apparently really important.
No, you don't.
You've got a kid, so I know you know about that whole sleep quandary thing.
Yep.
Yeah. No, don't tell me otherwise. I know. Yeah. I've seen the pictures.
And what can we expect from you in the future then?
What you can expect is more. You can expect more live classes, online classes, and I'm also translating a lot of this stuff into ebooks. I have just started publishing on Amazon. I have 3 books on Amazon right now. None of them have anything to do with massage therapy. But that is, the rest of the stuff on my list are books about basic business knowledge and skill. So basically taking my 2-hour classes and translating them into a manageable sized book, where you can pick up the book and go, I need to decide whether I should accept credit cards. Oh, look, she's got a book here. It's only, looks like I could read this in about an hour. Yeah.
Yep. And
let's talk about what credit cards are, talk about the pros and cons, and here's a little checklist. If your practice is like this, yeah, you should seriously consider credit cards. But honestly, if your practice is like this, you can if you want to, but it's not actually critical. So those are the kinds of things I'm looking into putting in ebooks.
Yep.
Because my background is in professional writing too, so that part's easy.
Yep, and especially in small towns too and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows everybody. That's what's nice about it, and
But you do have to weigh the pros
Yep.
and cons, and I taught that as a class, and half the class ended up saying, "Yeah, it's probably time for me to delve into credit cards," and the other half of the class very honestly said, "No, right now for my practices, I don't need to deal with credit cards, but I now know what to look for if anything changes in my practice. That yeah, I might need to take that more seriously."
yeah, exactly. So, what do you think of the Congress so far then?
I'm enjoying the Congress. This is my first time attending. And one of the things I'm enjoying in particular is that opposed to, say, the AMTA National Convention, which I often go to, it's much smaller. It's like a concentrated version of a larger convention where it's people who are focused on a given issue, but that also means I have better access to some people with national name recognition. And so I can bend some ears, ask for opinions. I'm getting access to people who are very focused on this one thing, and I'm enjoying that a lot. I'm overwhelmed. It's my first time here. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
They're now talking about something that I'm totally baffled about. I'm just going to keep listening and see if sooner or later I figure it out. Just be gentle with myself.
Yeah.
Just write it out until you know what's going on.
Yeah. And how do people get a hold of you then?
I can be found at bowershours.com, BOWERSHOURS.com,
Yeah, yeah.
which is where you can also find a link to my business blog, This Touching Business, which is on Tumblr. And then my courses are taught through a small company called The Healing Core with my business partner, Kitty Southworth.
Okay.
But there are links on that, for that, also on my main website, Bowers Hours.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you very much,
Thank
Kelly.
you, Ryan. This was fun.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.